Ladies and gentlemen, this is the captain speaking. We have two F-35s inbound on the left-hand side.
Making history. Two of Britain's new F-35s in action as the UK, America and France worked together, a show of force for exercise Point Blank. Their mission, a challenging scenario in the skies above the North Sea. The exact details are classified, but some of the aircraft were playing the enemy, whilst the rest were trying to defeat them.
So the scenario itself will have a good number of aircraft pretending to be the adversary air, and they'll be positioned throughout the North Sea. We'll also have simulated surface air missile sites, getting that high-end contested environment that quite frankly, we have been lacking and we haven't had to face over the past couple decades. And that was really one of the genesis of Point Blank, to expose our air crews to that type of training environment.
40 aircraft were involved from various locations, including Typhoons from RAF Coningsby. More than 200 personnel took part in what was the biggest exercise of its kind launched from RAF Lakenheath. And a big moment for the UK's F-35s, their first international exercise since arriving here.
We've only had the F-35s in the Royal Air Force, particularly in the UK, for a few months, and for us to actually field them on this complex exercise is a real step in the right direction for capability. It's mouth-watering for us to be alongside the French and the Americans to integrate. Is a huge chance for us to go and actually develop the capability.
We've got a unique view of this exercise. This RAF Voyager is effectively a flying petrol station. It's got 106 tons of fuel, and it's vital to the exercise because it's allowing the UK's F-35s and the French Rafales to refuel. They're taking on more than 22 tons to top them up.
And that air-to-air refuelling gave the pilots a moment to think before rejoining the scenario. The RAF Voyager also refueling the Rafales. It was the first time the French Air Force joined this exercise, a chance for them to get used to working alongside the F-35s.
The F-35 will pose some new challenges in that realm, and therefore, since the F-35 is a brand new aircraft within the RAF, we need to train together.
Every day, actually, we are involved in common missions, especially in Middle East or in Africa, so we are used to work together. We plan the same way, we brief, we fly the same way, and we also debrief the same way. We just have to improve this way of working in other types of scenario, and especially in very demanding scenarios.
While the precise scenario was secret, the possibility of future similar threats must have been in the back of their minds.
Well, we've moved from a scenario where we have control of the air, and that's taken for granted, to a time now, I think, that we have to recognise that all the environments are being contested, and the air environment is particularly for the Royal Air Force. We need to think about the defence of the homelands. We are seeing Russia challenging that rules-based international order more and more, so we have to stay ready, and by staying ready, it's exercises like Point Blank.
All three air forces were keen to shout about the achievement of working together. So what's the risk if exercises like this don't happen?
The risk is then you get there, and I can use examples in our own history, but I'll just say generically that you show up, you can't talk, communicate, or even operate together, and then you're less effective. Now half the force is ready to fight that night, or a quarter of the force.
Do you think it might be harder to achieve exercises like this post-Brexit?
I don't technically know the answer to that political question, but I would think that we have the skill and capability in our air forces to work beyond Brexit, would be my guess.
And the RAF's response to the uncertainty of Brexit?
I think that the Brexit won't affect us whatsoever, because our relationship with these countries is based on a military relationship, fundamentally through NATO and then through this trilateral relationship as well. So I'm confident that it won't affect our readiness, and in fact we look forward to working with these other air forces well into the future.
All three air forces will now be assessing the lessons learned for the future when they might be faced with these types of threats for real.